That's right, and Trump also tweeting that his thoughts and prayers are with Brunson and his family. Certainly timely and fitting, given the fact that the evangelical voter base is certainly strong and very much present here just in time for the midterms. But this is good news for President Trump and the Republican Party. As he said and tweeted earlier, he has been working hard on this case. In fact, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Secretary Advisor John Bolton met with Turkish officials on the sidelines at the United Nations General Assembly in New York to discuss this very matter, and they have been pushing and pressing Turkey to release Pastor Brunson for some time now. As we know, this tit-for-tat dialogue has resulted in harsh economic threats, sanctions on two top Turkish officials, and also a threat to double tariffs on aluminium and that's certainly something that now the US is having to face, that they will ease those economic pressures, that they will follow through on their word in regards to the release of Pastor Brunson. But there is an outstanding matter that still needs to be addressed in regards to these 100 F-35 fighter jets. Now, the sentiment of Pastor Brunson in Congress has certainly been strong, and they did pass the legislation freezing the sale of these 100 F-35 fighter jets. But there are some complications, particularly given the fact that a number of the key parts of these fighter jets are actually made by Turkish firms. So they need to sort of work out whether or not that sale will go ahead and how that will impact relations as well.
You touched on it just earlier, Sally, but give us a little bit more detail, if you will, about the importance of this one pastor to, in particular, Mike Pence, and you linked it, didn't you, with the ever-present issue of the midterms. What's the big deal?
Well, it's certainly a big deal in terms of the US midterms voter base of the evangelical Christians. They're a very strong and very present part of the US political system here, and they're making an ever-present feeling and sentiment in regards to foreign policy. They've got a strong standing in the Republican Party here. We know that Mike Pence is an evangelical Christian, also Mike Pompeo. So this is something that Mike Pence has been certainly pushing for, Trump following through as well, making sure that Pastor Brunson will be released in time for the midterms makes the Republican Party certainly look a lot better than it would have if it hadn't got to this point. And this is an important time for the Republican Party. There's a democratic threat, a democratic surge that could potentially take over Congress. So it's certainly a time that they want to rally up those evangelical Christians and make sure that they have them on their side.